What is up, Star Seeds? It's Sid. It's getting a little late, but I really wanted to do this video on over 100 different types of element manipulation abilities, okay? There's actually infinite abilities, duh. But in this video, I am touching base on over 100 different types that people have given names to over the years. There is timestamps in the description if you want to fast forward to a certain elemental ability. Pyrokinesis, hydrokinesis, geokinesis, aerokinesis, all that in the description, baby. So yeah, here we go. I'm gonna start off with the main general three that hopefully you've heard of. That is telepathy, teleportation, and or psychokinesis. Most people call it telekinesis. It's actually called psychokinesis now, but who really cares about the labels? Like I've said in previous videos, hopefully you've checked them out. If not, that's cool too, but I recommend them. Yeah, so let's get into this. For a video on over 100 different things, it's going to be pretty quick, but yeah, not really sure how long this is about to take, but here we go. Those lights just flickered. I don't have an explanation, but they do that sometimes. So here we go. You guys get to look at my cards and 3 of my biggest crystals and 1 of my favorite candles for pretty much the rest of the vid because, yeah, that's just how I'm doing it. But, let's get to it. I'm sorry I say so much, but telepathy. That is communicating with minds. It's sending and receiving thoughts, emotions, and intentions of animals, plants, extraterrestrials. Actually, 99% of the time when you're communicating with extraterrestrials, it's going to be through telepathy because that is just how most beings in the universe do it, honestly. It's the most efficient way of communicating. And yeah, I'm very excited to use telepathy. Pretty much everyone above 3D and 4D uses it. So pretty soon we're going to be in 5D all using telepathy, and that'll be great. If you're very telepathic, you are also probably very empathetic. You probably have a gift of clairvoyance, clairsentience, and claircognizance. You probably are very good with animals and probably enjoy nature a lot because you must be in that high vibration to be able to use telepathy often. Twins use telepathy. That's pretty well known. My dog is shaking right now. I'm chilling with my dog right now. Family members use it, other siblings with soul contracts, friends, peers, random strangers can use telepathy too. Anyone can. Alright, so I am actually going to pull a couple cards for everyone with telepathy. I think that's it. Ace of Swords and the Queen of Cups. So, this is feminine emotion. Cups is water. That's flowing emotion. Swords is air. Air is communication. Ace is the start of that. This is like the first one we're talking about too, and it's through kind of mental messages, and I feel like this was just kind of explaining telepathy. So there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Moving on to teleportation. So teleportation is a bit of a generic term, honestly, because we're going to get into different types of teleportation later in this video. But for the most part, teleportation is going different places. It is quantum superposition. So this whole universe is quantum in its energy, and anyone can go whenever or wherever they want, at any point in time or space. So it's just moving matter from place to place, honestly. And I'm gonna pull some cards for you guys with teleportation. So, the dark mysteries. Enter the chamber of the dark goddess. And initiation. Spiritual testings of Ra and the Lady Isis. So, what these mean. I feel like you use teleportation, most people, for getting information and kind of going through your own initiation of your path. Yeah, everyone has a different spiritual path, and if you have the gift of teleportation, I feel like you're usually kind of in the indigo child label, if you're into that. But yeah, I feel like you just are on the quest for knowledge. That's kind of the vibes I get from those cards. Moving on to telekinesis. Telekinesis is like Carrie White from the movie Carrie. It is moving objects with your mind power. It's it's not just mind power. There's science behind it, but that's basically what it is. It's being able to move things, and I think that's kind of really the only explanation I have to give for that. But I'm gonna pull a couple cards for you guys. Alright, here we go. Oh, the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Kind of perfect for what I was feeling for telekinesis too. Just lots of wand energy. Lots of fire, lots of action, and passion. My dog's barking his head off, but I just feel like people with telekinesis really are that kind of masculine energy too. Now we're getting into more of the ones you don't hear about as much, so I am just going to rattle off my explanations for you guys, not even really pulling cards. I might intuitively at some point, but yeah, you're getting this angle from now on for a while because this video is taking longer than expected and I have to go to work in a little bit. So now for sonokinesis. This is the manipulation of sound waves. So being able to literally alter the frequency of sound so people hear different things. You are probably an auditory learner if you have sonokinesis, and you probably have a good ear for music. Absolute pitch, number 5. This is a lot like sonokinesis, but this is being able to remember exact sounds. You probably have clairaudience if you have this gift, also probably an auditory learner and all of that. Yeah, this is probably a gift you've had from a very young age, being able to mimic sounds as well, I bet. Now for super tasters. So these people literally have more taste buds than the average human. They are likely to be women, Asian, or Africans, and bitter food is going to taste the worst for them. Like chocolate is an example of a bitter food, if you didn't know. um, Now for night vision. This is basically what it sounds like, being able to see in the dark. There was actually a kid in Asia who could see in the dark and pitch black, and he had blue eyes, I think. Now for tetrachromacy. So most humans see with red, green, and blue, so 3 light sources. But if you see like a zebrafish and you see with 4 light sources, you see red, green, blue, and ultraviolet. Optikinesis is really trippy. It's literally like psychedelic effects. It's being able to change what other people see. Literally controlling other people's eyes, honestly. Totally controlling their vision, making them see like they were in a rainforest, even if they're in Antarctica. This is like the girl from Twilight, I swear. Making them see pitch black if you want, making them see like backwards, making them have slowed down vision or sped up, or being able to see through their eyes if you want. Just total control over their vision. Projective invisibility. This is being able to turn other things invisible. This is literally just like altering the light in objects or other people and making it so that it's not visible through the sense of sight. It's a lot like invisibility, which literally does the same thing just to yourself. You can usually see when people are trying to pull off this invisibility stunt, but that's kind of sensing it through other senses, actually, not sight, but the atoms just swear they look different. Number 12, chronokinesis is the ability to control time and space. So literally go back in time, forwards in time, change it if you want to, exist in multiple different places if you want to, so it's a bit different than teleportation. Yeah, it seems a bit more like advanced, honestly. And bilocation is being able to be in 2 different places at once. So it's a bit more of a generic term. Gyrokinesis is the ability to control gravity and manipulate it however you want. You can have anti-gravity. This can lead up to number 15, levitation, which means coming off the ground a little bit. You've probably seen that in movies. It's very common if you have telekinesis to be able to levitate as well. This can also advance to the next one, flight, which is literally being able to, you guessed it, like fly. You're changing the direction of gravity. This is just gyrokinesis to its full ability, plus like using other magical mind powers too as well. Next one is astral projection. So this is traveling with your mind alone, your spirit actually being able to leave your body and then return. So you actually astral project every night unconsciously. Doing it consciously is just the actual act of being able to truly astral project. Now the next one is aura reading. So this is being able to sense people's emotions, morals, and overall health and well-being too, just by looking at them and seeing like a color of light around them. Basing that off of the spectrum of light and vibrational frequency of emotion, you can see kind of based off of the aura that you get from them, all of their true intentions and whatnot. The next one is seeing spirits. So this is a lot connected to aura reading, honestly. So seeing orbs basically goes in between aura reading and seeing spirits. Seeing spirits could include those orbs, which is like auras, or seeing actual like ghost or extra paranormal things, or ETs, honestly, like more physically. Um, However you see spirits, that's an extra ability, obviously. Next one, number 20, is precognition. So this is basically psychic information, getting info about the future, getting info about things before it happens. Next one is, it's hard to say, eidetic memory. So this is having an extraordinarily good memory, like a great, perfect, vivid memory, remembering every color of clothing, every emotion you felt, every bodily sensation, like you remember when you got the goosebumps at this time on this day with these people in this setting. Just a great memory. The next one is psychometry. So this is the act of being able to read information off of an object by touching it. I know Tyler Henry can do this. Different mediums can do this. You've probably seen it on TV at some point in your life. Think that's really the only explanation I kind of have to give for that, besides just saying that it's a way of channeling info from the energy stored in that object, because everything radiates intention and emotion and everything. So there's honestly science behind it. But yeah, moving on. Omnilingualism. So this is the ability to speak, write, and understand any language. So honestly, the part that gets me is being able to write any language and speak any language and understand it. Like, really? That's crazy. I get telepathy, just like communicating without words, but literally just knowing any language, any like computer code, any form of communication, being able to understand naturally. It is quite a gift. Next one is enhanced strength. So usually in emergency situations or something, like there was this mother that lifted a full-on car for these kids so they wouldn't get crushed. Like that's like an emergency, boom, adrenaline kicks in and you can lift stuff. But there's people with just enhanced strength, and there's honestly so much more muscle power in our muscles that us as humans, literally from our own physical capability, we can't use. But people with enhanced strength can tap into this extra power. And yeah, guys, my candle kind of burned my carpet again. So I had to switch them out because the wax went over and my dog's gonna kill me. But the next one is 25, and that is lung adaptation. So that is the ability to breathe literally anywhere, breathe in any element that you need to and still remain just fine. This can also include underwater, but there's another name for that one actually later in the video. So moving on to thermoregulation. This is the ability to control hormones in the body, so very good for survival, being able to regulate mainly your temperature and stuff, but also being able to release melatonin, serotonin, dopamine, whatever hormones you need to feel happy, go to sleep, or what have you. The next one is biokinesis. So this is an amazing gift. It's the gift of healing. It's spontaneously like repairing like your body physically, genetically altering whatever you need to heal yourself and heal your cells. So that is biokinesis. So mental possession is being able to control someone. It's basically making someone your slave, having them follow any commands that you give them. This is all telepathic, and this is basically a form of telekinesis over another person. I like to think of Halloween Town when it was like the return of Halloween Town, like the last one where it's the different girl in it. You know what I'm talking about. And yeah, that amulet actually gives them the power of mental possession. So it's a terrible gift, honestly, probably like the worst one, but it is a like psychic ability, honestly, element manipulation. So now the next one is energy manipulation, and that is basically what this whole video is about, is energy manipulation and element manipulation. It's all the same thing, but this gift is basically just the most widespread term for it. It's the ability to control or alter or change or transform energy and matter and atoms and particles and all of that. So number 30 is micro manipulation, which is changing the outcome of little things or moving things around using element manipulation that you can't really notice. It's being able to use your mind to control the fact that the card you want to pull out next is going to be on the top of the deck, but it's not visibly doing that. Macro manipulation, on the other hand, the next one would be literally using telekinesis to like and like pull a card up in a visible way, or doing a big thing that you can notice, or changing the outcome of a very big thing. Dynamokinesis is manipulating energy that already exists. So like these crystals, this candle, and those cards are already existing pieces of matter that I could then manipulate. It's not like I'm going to create a flame out of nothing. It's already there for me. So positron manipulation is controlling positrons, the animator counterpart to electrons. The next one is mana manipulation, and this is the ability to control any magical energies, any like mystical thing that pops up in your life. You are able to alter the energy of in some way. And then the next one, 35, is cosmokinesis. This is the unique ability to manipulate all cosmic forces. This has to do with the solar system. This has to do with not just the physical planets, but the meaning of the planets manifesting and how that has to do with it creating things on the earth. Cosmokinesis is a very powerful and vast one. Moving on to chi manipulation. This is the ability to manipulate any life that is metaphysical energy. So anything that you think has a personality, a spirit or soul, and is a actual life form. moving on to the next one, which is exotic matter manipulation. So, creating and controlling matter that is exotic or that defies the law of science and reality. So, things that, a doctor wouldn't say is physical or considered real, even though literally everything is real somewhere. Uh, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that one. Literally, I think everyone watching this video is into stuff that isn't scientifically proven yet. The next one is force field generation. This is the ability to create protective shields of solid photons. So, in the future, I am going to have a video on how to psychically protect yourself, which is basically using this gift to generate force fields, which anyone can do. Like, anyone can use any of these gifts. So, moving on to the next one, which is sphere manipulation. So, controlling energetic fields around yourself. This is a bit more in depth from the last one. It's being able to really control that field that you have up or manipulate other fields that are close by you. Now, number 40 is electroportation. So, this is the ability to teleport using electricity or lightning. I said there was going to be other means of teleportation, and this is how to access that gift through either like using the energy of a lightning bolt or the energy of any electronic devices that radiate enough energy for that. Now, the next one is electrical absorption. So, this is absorbing electricity. This is kind of how you get the energy to do something like electroportate or teleport via electricity. Electric mimicry is the ability to transform your body into lightning or into like electrical energy. Like, you'll look like a being of light or a being of electricity, really. Like, you're gonna zap me if I touch you. The next one is energy emission or energy blast. So, this is the ability to create and release energy blasts, pretty much. Quintessence force is the ability to generate this blue, lightning-like, electrical, pure soul and heart, just like life force energy for real. You can like have this show up in your palms. You can radiate this as your aura sometimes. It's just a really beautiful gift. Photoportation is the next one. It's 45, and this is the gift to teleport using light. So any source of pure light or whatever light you use to teleport specifically, using that to do the definition of teleporting, go to a different place. Yeah. Moving on to photokinesis. This is the ability to create pure light and photons. Energy can neither be destroyed nor created, but you know how to basically create pure light energy from what seems like nothing, but is actually conjuring it up from those elements that you just have on deck. Pure or white light manipulation is next, and that is the creation of good, pure light energy. The next one is dark or black light manipulation, and that is the creation of the darkest or worst light that you can visualize. Next is light absorption, and that is basically just absorbing all of the light and energy around you and being able to store that for use in the future. Number 50 is light mimicry. That is taking on the traits of light. That is literally becoming light to the point where you look like an actual beam of light. Now the next one, laser emission. This is bending light wavelengths to create laser-like things. So you can literally shoot laser beams out of your hand if you store up this light and you let it radiate in a bent light wavelength to actually like cut through stuff if that's your intention, to melt stuff if that's your intention. We'll get into other element manipulation techniques similar to this later. But the next one is light generation, and this is just emitting it's emitting blinding light, or light that actually glows in the dark, which is pretty cool. The next one, absolute light, is creating a field of light that literally can dull people's senses and completely blind like the target of this basically attack. It's a defense mechanism, honestly. It's not like it's gonna hurt someone, but it's gonna protect you or someone else. The next one is evil banish, which is the power to banish all spirits of evil and black magic. You can never banish anything that's in your vibration, but if you have such a good intention that you're on a high vibration, those lower entities cannot come near you or touch you or even communicate with you in any way if you don't want them to. Moving on to number 55, which is sacred darkness. This is the ability to create holy darkness. It's taught pretty commonly that darkness and blackness is negative, but that is not true at all. We need darkness to see the light, and darkness isn't even negative, so why is that saying even a thing? Darkness is beautiful, and there is such thing as sacred darkness. The black candle I had earlier was a candle of protection, so that is just one example of how black can be beautiful and darkness can be sacred. The next thing is umbraportation. So this is teleporting using the shadows of darkness. This is literally using darkness to teleport. So you can teleport using a lot of different mediums, and shadows are one of those things. The next ability is umbrakinesis. This is controlling shadows or darkness. Yesterday I watched a super cool video of a guy 100% controlling a shadow. So this is a cool one to look up on YouTube. It's literally physically moving shadows, and it's awesome. The next one is darkness mimicry. This is becoming the darkness. This is one of the coolest definitions. Becoming the darkness. Reminds me of like Suicide Squad. You literally look like a, I don't know, evil spirit or a demon, but use this in a good intention. Like I said, use all of this with good intention. The next one is called animated shadow. This is the ability to animate one shadow, pretty similar to umbrakinesis, but it's just like animating it. Instead of just controlling it, it's specifically animating it. 60 is shadow camouflage. So this is the ability to be unseen in shadows. It's kind of like invisibility, but specifically working with the darkness. Activation and deactivation is the next one, and this is turning things on and off. So electronic devices, radios, TVs, lights, but this could be other things as well. This could be flipping things over. This could be moving things across the room that literally belong in a certain spot to the point where you would call it an activation of something or a deactivation of something. It's not just telekinesis, it's something that's turning something on and off specifically. And then the next one is technopathy, is basically the ability to read technology's mind. It's the ability to manipulate technology and control it and hack, honestly, is what technopaths do. I'm going to compare this to electrokinesis, which is the next one. This is the ability to manipulate electricity, absorb electrical fields, store it in your body, and then shoot lightning later if you want to sometimes, which is honestly sort of cool. Moving on to the next one. Magnokinesis is the ability to bend anything magnetic, like even cars. 65 is ferrokinesis. That's the ability to manipulate or bend metal in any way. Hylokinesis is the ability to manipulate or bend glass in any way. Halokinesis is the ability to manipulate or control salt in any way. The next one is hard to say. Psamokinesis is the ability to manipulate sand in any way you please. Granulation is the ability to turn things into sand, to literally transform any piece of matter into pieces of sand. 70 is the next one, and that is crystalkinesis. That is the ability to manipulate minerals and any crystals, like so. So that is pretty amazing, I must say, because crystals already have so much power, so manipulating them would give them even more. The next one is atmokinesis. This is controlling the atmosphere and weather, okay? This includes literally weather of all forms. This includes putting holes in the ozone layer or repairing it, all of that. It's a wide range of abilities in one, okay? The next one is golem creation, and that is making golems, which if you don't know what a golem is, it's basically, it was in Halloween Town, the frog dude that the mom like had a not even a thing with, but he even wore a frog costume to the party. It was the second Halloween Town movie, by the way. I love Halloween Town, you guys. I'm recording this in October too, so I have to reference it, especially when there's such good examples in those movies. But he was a golem of frogs, so it was a bunch of frogs made into literally a person used like by other magic. But it's a blob of one thing used by making a lot of that element. So you can make golems out of anything. You can make golems out of mud. You can make it out of crystals. You can make it out of air or water, etc. Argokinesis or chlorokinesis is the next one, and people with this gift can telepathically communicate with plants. They can usually grow very big or beautiful plants, and they just can control plants and all fungus. Rainbow manipulation is the next one, and that is the gift of controlling rainbows. I've seen this in some cartoons, and this is really just about every color of the rainbow as well, harnessing the energy of each visible light shade in the spectrum, and having the power of every color in the rainbow's personality every color's aura, having just the sheer essence of rainbow energy. If you're into rainbow children and this great awakening movement that's happening on Earth currently, it has a lot to do with the power of the rainbow. Now, 75 is the ability of intangibility. It is going through solid matter, being able to walk through walls, being able to run through cars, being able to go through other people, if you please. Literally going through any solid object that you would think is close enough together in their atoms, but your atoms know how to just pass through the other atoms. There's just enough space for your electrons to glide through each other without actually crashing into one another. This one would be the coolest to see happen in person, for sure, I think. I've seen videos of this on the internet. Yesterday I saw a dude, like, slide through a car door just like he was about to sit in it, and it was so amazing to see. You see it in cartoons all the time, but in person, it's breathtaking. So now we are going to get into more of the actual elemental ones, starting with geokinesis or telekinesis. This is manipulation of the earth. Any mineral, any earthly elemental substance on earth or around you that you can control. This is uprooting grass and reshaping it. This is creating an earthquake whenever you want. This is taking soil from the ground and like spinning it around if you want. Any manipulation of earth, really. And then we have geomancy, and that is divination through the element of earth. That is telling the future, that is getting psychic information through looking at the ground, through looking at the trees, through anything related to the earth element that gives you future information or divine medium channeled information. Earth mimicry is next, and this is the ability to have a body made up of the earth element. So when you choose, or when it happens, your body will turn into minerals, it will turn into anything of literally the earth element. Dirt, possibly plants, anything earth related, your body will completely be composed of. Next is teleportation. So this is the ability to teleport using earth-based materials. Teleporting, going into a tree, teleporting, going underground, teleporting, going into a plant, something of this nature. Number 80 is aerokinesis. This is the gift of controlling the air element. This is speeding up or slowing down the wind. This is changing the direction of the wind. This is creating huge blasts of wind or shutting the wind off when you please. Next is aeromancy. This is divination through the wind. This is getting channeled information, psychic or medium info through the air element. This is getting any information that is mystical to you. This could be a current of wind coming through, and then information coming to you that you knew was through the wind. You probably have aerokinesis if you have aeromancy. They go hand in hand. Moving on to air mimicry, this is being able to transform into wind, mist, clouds of gas, or fog, anything of the air element, literally having a body made up of air. Moving on to aeroportation, this is being able to teleport using the wind or air. So having a big gust of wind rush through and being able to literally go to another place, space, or time. The next one is wind or air generation, and this is being able to create blasts of wind. You already have that energy stored up somehow, and you can just, with your mind, decide to release it. The next one is numbiokinesis, and this is being able to manipulate clouds and nebulas. It's being able to move clouds, being able to make clouds precipitate, snow, whatever you want them to do, make clouds go away, make clouds appear, all of that. Deoxygenation is next. That is the power to suck up all the oxygen out of a person, place, or thing. Then we have the unique power of heliokinesis. That is controlling the sun, sunlight, and sun waves. So especially with these solar flares going on, being able to control the sunlight is a very powerful gift. Not only do you then have power over plants, but you have power over the pineal gland of the entire people of Earth, because these solar flares are getting stronger and sparking our pineal glands. So if you have heliokinesis, you can set off these solar flares and help out humanity. Use that power wisely, please. Next, we have pyrokinesis, one of the most popular ones. This is the ability to speed up atoms until they ignite, actually. This is controlling fire, controlling candle flames with your mind and intention, making them grow, making them shrink, making them spin and move and twist and turn, making them go whatever way you want, creating fire with your mind even sometimes, or putting fire out sometimes. The next one is pyromancy. This is divination through flame, through the element of fire, seeing things in flames. That's channeled medium psychic information. It's from a higher source put in this pure natural element on earth for you to then see in the fire and interpret for yourself. So it's a super awesome, passionate gift. Number 90 is fire mimicry. That is the ability to become fire. Have a body made of flames. That's pretty much all I need to really say. It's literally being composed of fire. If you touch someone, you're going to burn them. Next is pyroportation. So this is being able to travel to a different place, space, or time through fire, flame, heat, or what have you. Next is fire breath, literally being able to breathe out flames like a freaking dragon. Then next is flame absorption, being able
to intake the energy of fire and hold it in your body. This can then lead to the next one, inflammation, being able to burn things naturally. Then we have 95, melting, heating molecules enough, speeding up the atoms to melt things. This isn't just burning them, it's burning them enough to actually melt them. The next one is thermokinesis, being able to create, control, and manipulate heat of all kinds. That's pretty much all you guys really need to know for that one. Next is pyrotechnics. This is creating fireworks out of whatever material you already have before the fireworks. Then we have self-detonation. This is what it sounds like, literally exploding yourself and then coming back, reforming yourself, not actually dying. Plasmakinesis is actually the ability to control plasma. And number 100 is ice fire manipulation. This is the ability to have fire that's as cold as ice come out of body parts when you so choose and spray in whatever direction you so choose. Next is cryokinesis. This is the ability to control snow and ice. It reworks atoms, it slows them down to the point of freezing things. You can usually only make ice when you already have H2O or water to begin with. Next is cryomancy. That is the act of divination through ice or snow, seeing psychic information, channeling information through substances that are pure and frozen. So this could be looking at an ice sculpture and getting information that is mystic or from a higher source. Next is ice mimicry. This is having a body made up of snow or ice or any frozen water material. Teleportation is next, and this is traveling through snow or ice. I mean literally going to another space, place, or time through frozen water. So this could be walking into an igloo and going to the past or future or another planet or wherever you would like. Pretty awesome stuff through the power of ice. Next, we have freeze breath. So this is being able to freeze things through breathing in solid ice. Then we have ice absorption. This is being able to absorb the energy of ice. Next is ice beam, shooting beams of ice, basically icicles coming out of your body parts at pretty quick speeds, to be honest. Then we have the gift of freezing, lowering the temperature in kinetic atoms to freezing temperatures. Number 110 is precognition, and this is controlling snow either as it's falling or when it's on the ground, specifically a bit wetter of a substance than solid ice, so more like snow. Next, we have hydrokinesis. People with hydrokinesis can manipulate water. They can usually hold their breath long underwater too. They usually pull moisture from the air without even knowing it to use this special ability they have. Hydromancy is the gift of divination through water. So this is either telling the future or getting medium or channeled mystic information through H2O. This could be looking at a pond and seeing psychic information. This could be drinking a specific type of water and getting psychic insight. This is a very vast and powerful elemental gift. Water mimicry is next, and that is turning into liquid H2O. Your body transforming into water. That's pretty much the only explanation you need. It's not turning into a mermaid. It's not turning into a mist. That's more aero mimicry, or air mimicry, I mean. But water mimicry is literally turning into liquid water. Next, we have hydroportation. This is being able to teleport and go places through water. This is entering a waterfall that enters a different dimension. Teleporting through H2O. Next is dehydration. This is 115. This is the gift of absorbing water. It sounds like you don't have any water, but it's actually dehydrating water from other things. It's not like you're dehydrated. You're probably the most hydrated person ever if you have the gift of dehydration. Then we have water generation. Now, from this water that you've probably absorbed, you can make water. You can generate H2O with this, and you can squirt water out. You're like a human water gun. Then we have aquatic adaptation. This is being adapted to living underwater. This is usually having physical qualities like scales, like more of a tail, like gills or flippers, anything that would help you underwater. Next, we have aquatic breathing. This is like a lung adaptation, but this is specifically being able to breathe under the water. Number 119 is omniscionics. This is using many psionic abilities like empathy, telepathy, teleportation, telekinesis, precognition, astral traveling, and so much more. Alright guys, last but definitely not least, omnikinesis. This is the ability to manipulate any form of energy, okay? This is having literally every single ability that we talked about today. So this video was like an hour long, like an episode of a TV show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Always feel free to comment other topics you would like me to do videos on. In my description, there's a link to my Patreon account, and there is lots of cool things that you guys can check out there. If you donate just $1, you get access to a bunch of educational, spiritual info. It's basically all of my cool little notes that I add to all of the time. I'm wearing this sweatshirt from Jimmy Martin, Mac Miller's friend. It says "Broke Till I'm Dead." It's from the company FOAR, friend of a rapper. And yeah, I just wanted to shout him out because I haven't heard from him in a minute. I actually used to talk to him a few times. But my other favorite sweatshirt is in my second YouTube video, Why I Don't Trust the Government, and it's called Mushroom Girl by Steffi Lee, if you're interested in my other favorite sweatshirt, because I love sweatshirts. But yeah, that's just a little secret about me if you stayed for this whole video. I'm doing my first podcast ever, tomorrow morning. So more about that will be in the description of this video. Check that out, you guys. I hope you have a great week. I'll be back next week. Love and light. The hybrid children are coming soon.